I believe that our world we're in right now is one of many quantum computers. And that what we're calling birth is simply our mind being uploaded into a machine. And I think that once uploaded into the machine, just like in the movie The Matrix, the controllers take away our memory. Now we have little glimpses of our memory, of our previous lives and the future that already happened. And we call it deja vu, and we call it dreaming. Just like the Matrix, right? The machines was scared of deja vu because they know that was a glitch, because they told us tomorrow ain't happened yet, but we still see it. That right there ought to make the world wake up and be like, something they ain't telling us ain't right. Now check out what I'm saying. If you look at what the pharaohs was trying to do, he wanted to live forever. And they telling you that the Pharaoh was really just trying to make his body be preserved forever and mummified in a golden casket. But people, I'm going to show you about the golden tomb. The Pharaoh wasn't trying to preserve his body. He was trying to preserve his soul. And that's why the first world religions come from Egypt. The concept of saving your soul, people, preserving your soul. We never had that concept until the world's first pharaohs and stuff. You can't go to a jungle and convince them people that they need to do something to save their souls. They'll be like, what you talking about? Save what for what? What I'm saving it from? This is a new ideology that was put on the earth in crusades, and it was spread out. But I'm telling you that the earliest concept of saving your soul. Now, I know what we think today. We think about, doing right by your God so you can make it to heaven and all that. But the church hid the truth about saving your soul. The ancient truth about saving the soul is just like you save information on your computer. They were saving human consciousness inside of hard drives, inside of computers. And guess what? We doing it today. Now look at that pyramid on your dollar and ask yourself, why is it there? Because we copying off of the Egyptians. The people in power, they hate growing old. Why you think it's so much anti-aging cream? Why you think they cutting the doggone circumcised skins that they getting off these little boys' penises? They making face cream with it. Oprah looked like she growing young. These folks are vampires. They're sucking. Listen, they take an aborted baby. We say that the Egyptians and all them was sacrificing their babies. We doing it today. We just calling it an abortion. And we using the damn dead babies for the same reasons the Egyptians used it for, to drink their blood, to take their DNA and their little cells and shit to make creams and stuff with it. This sick world we in got a history. It go all the way back. Now check this out. They give y'all this golden tomb, and they say this is what allowed the Pharaoh to achieve immortality, because the knowledge of how he embalmed his body, we don't know how he did it. All our corpse gonna decay with after 200 years. You gonna be dust, man. They telling you that this Pharaoh that people go to Egypt to see in this casket for generations is still there, not decomposing. People, I call bullshit when I see it. If Hollywood can fake bodies, they shut these things down once a month every year to maintenance them. And I think that's when they changing the corpse on y'all. Yeah, man, ain't nobody cheating nature. Bro, the ancestors got a saying called ashes to ashes and dust to dust. And that goes for the Pharaoh's body too. He ain't omitted. He thought he was special. See, I used to revere these pharaohs till I found out these were the oppressors of our people. Check this out, y'all. The folks in power got us want to be like them, want to be immortal and live forever in the flesh and the body on earth, and that's the devil's kingdom. See, the Pharaoh is the earth god that they call Geb and all. They didn't have a word for president back in the day. The word was Lord, God. So on all of these religious books, when we talking about the Lord God, we talking about powerful men that walk the earth. And it explains why these gods have manly traits like jealousy. They own armies and stuff. They wage wars against man. They ain't into heavenly affairs. They into earthly affairs. These ancient priests and scribes had made themselves gods on the earth. And again, I asked y'all earlier, why was the Egypt a city in the first place? Why? Because Egypt had the brightest minds on earth centered in one spot for an evil agenda. When you get the world's smartest men together with the world's most evil men, because one of them got the brains and one of them got the money will never manifest heaven on earth. It'll manifest this shit you see outside. Now check this out, y'all. The Pharaoh had the same goals as those in power. He was living so lavishly on the earth, he feared death. He had so many luxuries that he was so attached to this earth that he spent all of his resources together with all of his scribes and priests trying to figure out a way that he can live forever. And they actually cracked the code. That may sound crazy. I'm telling you, with the research I've done, the pharaohs achieved immortality, and you know how they did it? The same way we're going to do it in 50 years. Science ain't lying to y'all. They have now came with the technology to upload the mind into computers. Today they play dumb and they say, well, did the pharaoh achieve immortality? There's a lot of people that's rich today asking that question. Did the Pharaoh ever achieve immortality? Because he spent his whole fucking kingdom seeking it. Anybody know with enough time and money you can do whatever you want. Ain't nothing impossible in this world. Now check this out. They said a pharaoh was buried in a golden tomb, and this is what I want to tell you. When you go to Egypt today, that's not the pharaoh in that golden tomb. That can be anybody. If you think that a body is still around, people, come on now. You talking about a corpse in a doggone thing thousands of years and it ain't stinking, ain't no bugs or nothing. And you got all these folks talking about, well, we just don't know why it's not smelling yet. And what did he do to embalm it? But you got to shut this thing down once a month to do some shit behind the people back, then open it back up. Yeah, whatever they doing, but that probably ain't even a real human body in that thing. You know, they got Hollywood can make a corpse for you and it'll look quite real, man. And look, I mean, just look at this. That don't even look like organic material like a body would be. They telling you the Pharaoh achieved immortality because look, his body's still here with us today after thousands of years. Man, listen, the Pharaoh is walking around like one of us. Here's my theory. The Pharaoh created a quantum computer, and he told all of his followers they can enter his kingdom with him in the clouds. And that's what we're calling cloud space technology today. Yes, they said when they get ready to upload human minds here in about 25 years, these metaverses will exist in cloud space. Everybody know about cloud space. This is this mystical computer area, a dimension where we can just store an infinite amount of data. Did you know that? I'm paying for cloud space storage right now. Everybody in the world use this cloud space. Information have to be stored somewhere. Yeah, there's another dimension. Like dead people don't die. They pass over. They cross over. This is what Christ was trying to teach. And this other dimension is the dimension of light. You know, so from this, like, it's like they can look into this world, but we can't see them till we get into that one. It's one spot, and all of these worlds are overlaid over each other, and determining on which one it is. Like, that's what they call in these ethers. Is layers, like the body is a layer, the soul is a layer, and then there's layers to the soul we yet to comprehend. In other words, our mind, our consciousness is a continuum of different layers of the self, according to Hindu. This is why you able to dream. Now watch how crazy this is. They said that the technology that Pharaoh created allowed him to project his soul to a satellite system called Sirius A and B, or what we call Orion today. Now, the word Orion is a playoff of the word aura, you know, like the human Orphic aura field. If you take the word aura and put an N on it, you get Orion or Orion. But check this out. The pharaohs, with all of his smart man and his money, they found out about the human aura, and they found out that the aura was an expansion of the mind, and that these two together is what we were calling the Merkaba, the light vehicle. This is what they call the fairies, you know, the little light beings. This is what our souls is when it's out the body. It's a being of light. It's a version of you that's glorified in its sort of light body. And light is dealing with the opposite of heavy. Because it's light, it can have flight. See, put an F in front of light, what you get? The light is what allows for flight. Light weighs nothing. And that's what your soul is. Light, because it weighs nothing, is able to be projected. And the Pharaoh wanted to project his light, AKA his soul, to a techno. And here's where it gets crazy. A lot of folks saying, yeah, he wanted to project himself to Sirius star system because that's where our true home is. Now, let me explain something to y'all. You know what Orion is? It's a system of satellites. You know, like the satellites, they launching up in the atmosphere. I should call them satelloons because they ain't really the satellites we thinking. They more like a big balloon with the technology mounted on it. But these satellites can stay up there indefinitely with the right kind of technology. Watch this, right? The Nordic people said the stars we see are stargates, basically. They are vortexes into parallel universes. And that when we dream at night, our mind is projected into one of these stars, and wherever dream we is, that's the star we in. They said that the earth that we're in now is a projected star. We just can't see.